with your beautiful bearded host, Zach Walker. Alabama's best no-holds-barred, constitutionally conservative, Christ-centered talk radio. If that don't fire you up, your wood's wet. Now, it's time for your bearded host, Zach Walker.
Welcome into Hometown Heartbeat. I am your big, beautiful bearded host, Zach Walker, checking in from Seaside, Florida. And man, am I happy to be with you guys today. Yesterday we took a day off on vacation and had a sleep-in day, and it was fantastic. But to be true to my word, not going to get in the habit of sleeping in when I've got to come back and wake up at 3:30 next week. And so here we are. Producer Connor, Dallas, what's going on, boys?
Not much. Got up early, got in the studio, ready to go to work.
Wow, you sound awake.
I am awake. I slept for a good amount yesterday, and then
at the studio or
no, like at home. Like I fell asleep in the afternoon, and then I kind of woke up for a couple hours, and then went to bed pretty early. So,
what about you, Producer Connor?
I'm pretty awake too this morning. I don't know what it is. I guess it's when you're waking up at 4 a.m. for a while. Suddenly 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. don't come quite so early. So,
do you find yourself not able to sleep in at all?
I wouldn't go that far yet, but I'd say waking up at 6 is way easier than it used to be.
I'd say it's a little bit harder to sleep in for me. I mean, I tried to sleep in the other day, and my body woke me up at like 6 or 7. So, I don't know if that's the case for
the days of sleep until noon. I think are over.
Yeah,
But I can still go to 9 maybe.
I definitely slept till 8:30 yesterday. I know that, and it felt glorious. So here, we're down here. Connor, is my camera on?
Yes, you should be on the stream.
I'm not on the screen. I'm seeing Dallas on the screen. Oh, there I am. There I am. There's a big, beautiful bearded face. If you're not watching us right now, go to thehometownheartbeat.com, thehometownheartbeat.com. At the top, you'll see a button that says Watch Live, Listen Live, or Podcast. You can use either of those buttons to do exactly what they say. Watch Live, Listen Live, or go to the podcast. And you can go to Facebook and YouTube, type in thehometownheartbeat.com, and you will see our live stream as we fight through another day here at Seaside, Florida. Boys, sunburn update. I have officially burned half of my right leg and all of my left leg in an attempt at trying to protect my feet from more sunburn. And I'm still like a pregnant woman that can't hardly walk because my feet are swollen. So pretty much I'm worthless. I am absolutely worthless currently. But that's okay, right? Because I'm on vacation.
I guess. Did you use like sunblock, or how did that happen?
Yeah, no, so I did. So the first sunburn was like day one. I got on my bike. I was trying to do a little bit better, trying to get my exercise in. Didn't want to get fatter while I was down here. I already got that covered pretty well. And I took a ride, went about 4.5, 5 miles on the old trek. And, I before I came to Florida, I had to get myself some Chacos so I could be a hipster like everybody else down here. It's kind of that's like hipster starter pack. You got to have Chacos and skinny jeans with holes in them. Now, I skipped the skinny jeans part. I didn't want to smuggle grapes into Seaside, Florida. But the Chacos were mandatory. And so I got me some Chacos, got on my bike. I rode the 5 miles. And when I got back, my brother-in-law was joking with me. He was like, man, you got to get you a Chaco tan, right? I guess that's some millennial thing. And sure enough, I came back from my bike ride, and boy, did I have a Chaco tan, except for it wasn't tan at all. It was in fuego, as we would say in Espanol, in case you didn't know I'm bilingual. And a lot of fire there, no sunblock. But then again, I was just taking a quick bike ride. That being said, today is Thursday, and the burn is still in fuego, as it were. So I have used a boatload of sunblock throughout the rest of the week, obviously on my feet. And as I sit here and look at my right ankle, apparently I sunblocked the top of my foot and the bottom half of my shin and then stopped there, because there's a huge white splotch right at the bottom of my ankle here. And then from there up to my knee is just beet red. So we've learned a couple things this week. We've learned a couple things. One, Seaside has a little white privilege to it. And two, I'm terrible with sunblock. And so maybe in the last 2 days of vacation, something unique will be revealed to me that will allow us to make strides in the sunblock department. But as for now, Connor, just not applying the old sunblock very evenly.
It's an acquired skill. It's a talent. You got to have the knack for it.
Yeah, and my wife's not very good at it either. My son's screwed. Thank God he has no sunburn. So he's 4. Zayden is 4, and he is like a hog in slop down here. Let me tell you. The kid is just because we're in a house here in Seaside. We got a big house because it's our. I mean, we got a whole family here now. We don't travel lightly. We got a big family, and we got our private pool back here behind the house, and then the beach is. If you look over my right, can you see the beach over? I can't see. Can you see the beach over here over my shoulder at all?
Not really. We can see the neighboring condo.
The ocean is like right over here, back here. Okay, so, yeah. It's like a 50-yard walk from here. Here to the end of the beach. My neighbors are coming out this morning, and I hope I'm not waking people up. But
well, you can just explain to them that you have a radio show in North Alabama.
Yeah, well, the people of North Alabama need their radio. They need their talk radio in the morning, and I've got to, it's my duty, it's my responsibility, it's my, honor and privilege to be able to deliver that to them. Connor, I did, go ahead and be pulling up some content for us to be talking about through the show today. Dallas, feel free to add whatever you'd like. I'd like to, try to stay away from race baiting and politics as much as humanly possible, but obviously that's what we talk about every day, and so we won't be able to entirely do that, but we can talk about some other things. How about Patrick Mahomes' $503 million over 10 years? Anybody familiar with the old contract that boy just signed?
Yeah, it's the biggest contract in sports history.
Not true.
It's not?
Not even close.
That's what I've seen.
That's because his agent put that out. And, there ain't no money like baseball money.
Yeah. Well,
so you know the difference?
Isn't the money different? Like, yearly it's not the biggest, but isn't like the overall pay, isn't it like the biggest in sports history? Like, I know his salary yearly isn't the biggest, but like the contract itself.
So beyond the hype and the clicks, he signed a 10-year extension onto his remaining 2, so he's 12 years locked up. The contract came with, let's see, Mahomes could earn. This is from Sports Illustrated. It says Patrick Mahomes got paid, but don't get carried away. Adam Schefter touted the contract alleged status as the richest in sport history, which is what Mahomes' agent obviously tweeted and would want you to believe. But what does he have to do? So basically, yes, on paper, he has the biggest contract in sports history. But if we want to talk about actual earnings when it's all said and done, there's no way Patrick Mahomes earns all $502 million. All these quote-unquote guarantee mechanisms are basically they're the equivalent of a pay-as-you-go contract. So the Chiefs had to have, like, he's going to have to earn those years each time, and the difference in that and Mike Trout is Patrick Mahomes is really guaranteed $63 million and $140 million in the event of catastrophic injury. So Mike Trout is guaranteed $426.5 million because his contract's for $426.5 million. And the only thing Mike Trout had to do to get that guarantee is put a pen to paper. And so, as I originally said, there ain't no money like baseball money, because every single dollar in the sport of baseball is fully guaranteed from the moment you sign the document. Whereas in football, you have guarantees written into the contract. Make sense?
Yeah, I get that.
So the odds are, I think the NBA is guaranteed too, isn't it? No, it's not.
No, yeah, I don't think so.
Just baseball. So there ain't no money like baseball money.
And baseball doesn't have a salary cap, right? You can
Oh
pay
no, they
player-
definitely have a salary cap.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
They definitely have a salary cap, and they have a luxury tax, and they have all that. They have all the stuff like all the other leagues. But it is. No, I mean, look, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback to play the game right now. He's the best quarterback in the game, and the Chiefs are absolutely lucky to have locked him up for as many years as they have, regardless of the cost. Now, it'll never pay out $502 million. He's 29. That puts him at 41, by the way. 12 and 29 is 41, right? Am I wrong? Somebody do math better than me. Connor, 12 and 29, 41?
Yeah, 41. You're good.
See? Okay, good at math. Good deal. At 41 years old, Patrick Mahomes, I don't see him being worth, $50 million a year. I could be wrong on that, but I've only been wrong once, and it wasn't on a Thursday. So, I don't know. Guys, you're listening to Hometown Heartbeat here on WVNN. Hometown Heartbeat, thehometownheartbeat.com. I am your big, beautiful, bearded host, checking in with producer Connor and Dallas. We'll be right back. in the land of sunshine, sunburns, and sweet tea, I guess. I don't know. The last one was kind of a struggle. Got producer Connor with me and Dallas here. Boys, we doing all right?
Yes, sir. Having a good morning so far.
Okay. Stay frosty. We got John from Elkmont on line 2. John from Elkmont, bring it in here. Land that plane. Let's get it done.
Hey, Zach. I didn't know that you were going to be back this week. I was kind of surprised I heard you live. Wanted to talk just a little bit, I wanted to talk about Thomas Jefferson, but when you've been mentioning sports, and I think you and I must be born in the same pod or something. Are you a Dallas Cowboys fan?
Yeah, of course I am. I hate to
Okay,
tell
I
people
have
that.
been
It's
ever
kind of
since they
embarrassing.
started. And I love baseball. I played a lot of second base and shortstop and caught occasionally if a catcher was hurt. But baseball is a very cerebral game, and but the concept and my understanding of the history is Abner Doubleday sat down one Saturday night and designed a game for he and his brothers and brother-in-laws to play after Sunday picnics. And what's amazing about it, and professional ball players and others, if you have a real good batter, real good runner athlete, and you have a real good struck ball to the infield, usually the runner is thrown out if there's a clean play. He's probably in his last stride or two getting to the base. If the infielder bobbles the ball, even for a second, then the runner's safe. So and then the same thing, trying to steal second base. A good catcher with a rifle arm, a lot of times it's just half a second difference between safe and out. And that amazes me that he got those dimensions that good on one night. The application,
the history of baseball is definitely it's an interesting game. To me, it's the greatest game in the history of games. It's the greatest game in the world because it's the only game where you fail 70% of the time you make the Hall of Fame. It's a game that I hope my son plays. I hope everybody at some point experiences that game because you think about it. If Peyton Manning only completed 30% of his passes, for instance, he wouldn't be Peyton Manning. If Michael Jordan only shot 30% from the field, he wouldn't be Michael Jordan. Baseball is the only game that produces failure as a I don't know, as an not as an attitude, because you have to be persistent in success, but I don't know, it's a very much a character building game. It's I believe greatest game ever created, and I played all the way through college, John, so sounds like you were quite the ball player back in the day, too, and definitely quite the historian. No doubt about that, John. We appreciate your call every time. If you are interested in calling in, 1-866-494-WVNN or 678 on radio. We're going to bring it in here this morning and talk about some headlines. Connor's got he's got some content pulled up. We're going to maybe go through a little ready, fire, aim. That's what we're going to call this, and that just came to me right here. What do you guys think about that? Ready, fire, aim.
I feel like that the order is a little off there.
But that's kind of the point.
Okay, yeah, sure. Run first, crawl later.
Because that's kind of how I operate, right? I shoot first and aim second.
Yeah, there's some truth to that.
Okay, ready, fire, aim.
All right. How about, have you heard about the San Francisco's new anti-racist 911 call act?
I'm sorry. Bring that in.
It's the act. Hang on, let me get the full name here. The act is
Karen Act.
The Caution Against Racially Exploitative Non-Emergencies Act.
It's literally called the Karen Act.
It's called the Karen Act.
Oh, shoot fire. Oh, that is too good. Don't forget. Do not let me forget to tell you the Karen story from the beach yesterday.
Okay, we can do that at the bottom of the show.
Okay, San Francisco lawmaker on Tuesday introduced an ordinance to outlaw racially motivated 911 calls under the Karen Act. I can't even say this crap without laughing. Under the Karen Act, people who call law enforcement based on racial bias could face criminal charges, CBS San Francisco reported. I also have to remember I'm doing this radio show from my balcony in my vacation neighborhood, and so things can totally be taken out of context when you only hear one side of this conversation, and some of my nice neighbors are sitting outside on the porch. So I've got to be cautious in what I say here. People who call the Karen Act. So what's the plan here? Racist 911 calls are unacceptable. That's why I'm introducing the Karen Act. I can't even say it. I can't even say it without laughing. Introducing the Karen Act. This is the Karen we need. That's a direct quote from the story. She actually said that.
The one who
is this
introduced
real?
the bill? Oh,
Yes,
it's absolutely
this
real.
can't be real.
It's absolutely real. And it seems like just a typical boilerplate, like the gist of the act is that you can't call 911 on a person when there is not an emergency on the basis of race. So I mean, it's it's to protect against those arbitrary Karen type phone calls. It would classify them as hate crimes with fines
Lord.
of up to $10,000.
Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, they don't. I mean, what if they knew what we were doing to the word hate crime nowadays, or the phrase "it's not a word"? That's a big pet peeve of mine. I can't be my own pet peeve breaker, but it is absolutely obnoxious. What we're called, I mean, hate crime back in oh man, the Karen Act. That's good, Connor. That way to come. Hey, Connor knows how to land the freaking plane. You know what, Dallas? Like, I'm talking about my man comes in and just drops the. Have you ever been to anybody know about the airport in Tegucigalpa, Honduras? Right, it's the shortest commercial airport in the world, and when you land there, John needs to fly into there once. And when you land there, you come over a mountain and you make this hard bank, and like your left wing almost touches a church's chicken, and then literally you fall out of the air because you have to get from where you're at to the air or to the ground and stopped on the shortest commercial runway in the world. And you've got to land that joker in a hurry. And Connor, my friend, you definitely brought the heat this morning with the Karen Act. That is too good. And for those of you that don't know, we are at the beach this week. My family and I've got my sister, her husband, her two kids, me, my wife, my son, and then my mom and dad. And so that's why I'm broadcasting from a porch here in beautiful Seaside, Florida. If you're not watching online, go to thehometownheartbeat.com. That'd be thehometownheartbeat.com, and you'll be able to see us as we broadcast live from beautiful sunny Seaside. I think they should add that to the name, because let me tell you something. A joker gets the sun is no joke here in sunny Seaside, as we've already addressed this morning. So you're listening to Hometown Heartbeat here on WVNN. That's thehometownheartbeat.com, thehometownheartbeat.com. I am your big, beautiful, bearded host, checking in with producer Connor and Dallas this morning. We got a whole bunch of energy and nowhere to go with it. So join us for the second half of the hour. It's going to be a barn burner. We'll be right back. Dallas. I am live from sunny Seaside, Florida, down here in the great bougie community of 30A. We are here, got some neighbors across the way here from Nashville playing in they got a little softball tournament action going today. I've got quite the audience this morning. Never done the show before a live audience, so that's definitely interesting perspective to have, since the conversations we tend to have may not be taken in the correct context if you're only hearing one side of the old microphone and not listening to the old headphones here. So keep that in mind. But I told you before we went to break that I needed to tell you guys a story as we were talking about the Karen Act, about the old Karen at the beach here. And as I mentioned, 30A, quite the bougie community. Have either of you guys vacationed in 30A before? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Never.
I've heard the legends, but I've never been there.
The legends. Well, you see bumper stickers on every
Exactly. It's almost like
every
a cult.
Housewives.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's it's definitely cult-esque. But beautiful place. Don't get me wrong, beautiful place. I'm the outlaw of 30A. We always rent the motor scooters, which are very much frowned upon here in the respectable community of 30A. So we actually have a Vespa gang, as it were. We're the one percenters of Seaside. Our gang name is called Whiskey Throttle. And for those of you that don't know what Whiskey Throttle is, it's a common occurring phenomena when you've never ridden on a scooter, motorcycle, whatever, where the throttle is in the wrist there. A lot of people's natural reaction the first time they ride one, when they get scared, they think they're braking, but they lean into the throttle. It's called whiskey throttle. You accidentally throttle up. And 2 years ago, my wife got on a scooter for the first time in her life and whiskey throttled her way right into a vehicle. And so that's the origin of our. If you see some one percenters rolling down 30A on some Vespa scooters, best believe that's whiskey throttle, and we are not to be messed with. Okay, but no. So down here you have like a eclectic mix of people, right? Because all these houses are owned by wealthy citizens of different places that then turn around and rent them out. And being in the real estate business, obviously I can't come down here without looking around at property and trying to find some property worth being quote unquote interested in, as much as it's possible considering these prices. And like, for instance, one guy who's trying to sell his home is willing to contractually guarantee $180,000 in revenue. And I think I think our video has dropped again. We seem to be having internet issues. For those of you watching the stream, you can still hear me and you can see the studio, but you won't see me. And so just bear with us as we work through that. Tomorrow we will hardwire the computer, and the last day will be great. But anyway, so we went down to the beach yesterday, and in this particular community that we're renting a home in has some owner occupants that are here this week, and let me tell you something. They are very particular about what section of the beach their chairs get set up in, and we got interrogated as to whether or not we actually belonged here, and then it escalated from there. And Karen went to the beach guy. He's a little 20-year-old fella named Blake, and I'd greased Blake's palms, if you know what I mean, to make sure that we have favorable standing with the old beach patrol there. And for about 15-20 minutes we were under investigation as to whether or not we really belonged here. And for a long time I tried to figure out what that meant. Does that mean I look too poor to be in 30A? Or is it just because because this particular lady was a doctor? And I just found it quite curious. So I'm curious what you guys think. What is it about me that calls for investigation as to whether or not I actually belong here? What do you guys think?
It's the beard.
You think it's the beard?
I think that plays a role in it.
Connor, what do you think?
I think Dallas is probably right. I think it's, as much as anything, like her desire to cause conflict and the beard.
She probably saw the beard and was like, yeah, this is the guy I can get a reaction out of right here.
This is the guy I can get the reaction out of right here. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, I mean, I hope that's certainly not the case. It does appear as though we were, I felt kind of, honestly, I felt kind of discriminated against, if I'm being honest, And as a millennial, I found myself highly offended. So today I've decided, I woke up this morning, I said, what can I be offended by today? And I think it's going to be Karen again. I think I've decided. So as soon as we're done here with the show, I'm going to go down to the beach. And, social distancing is important, even at the beach. And so
how's that working? Are they actually upholding it?
No.
I figured.
Are they uphold? What are they uphold? Okay, so in Seaside proper, in the business district downtown, where the legends that you've heard of are made, Connor, they are requiring masks in certain stores, but outside of that, these people are packed in here like sardines, man. I'm talking about just packed in here. But on the beach, however, our chairs are going to be socially distant, 6 foot apart, and we will stake out a large portion of the beach, because I can assure you these people here don't wake up for a 5 a.m., 6 a.m. radio show, and so we've got a leg up on them. But we, We'll stand our ground this morning. We'll stand our ground. So you're listening to Hometown Heartbeat, thehometownheartbeat.com, thehometownheartbeat.com. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on YouTube. Or just go to the website where you can listen to the podcast or catch up with all the latest news. We will be right back. boisterous, bearded host Zach Walker, checking in from sunny Seaside, Florida, here in the legend that is 30A. Got with me producer Connor and Dallas. We are 9 minutes from the top of the hour in our last segment of the morning, and we are wide open like a case knife. To begin the segment, we have our good friend Dan from Madison on line 3. Dan, bring that thing in here and talk to me, Goose.
All right, Zach. Check this out. Now, I like pork rinds and past Blue Ribbon, right? So here's what I would have done. If I was you, you paid for that with your hard-earned money. You earned it to be there. So you laying on your beach towel, drinking your paps and your pork rinds, and she comes out and says, hey, you're not supposed to belong on a beach. You know what I'd say? Listen, lady, here's the receipt I paid for. Why don't you take that stethoscope and shove it up your butt?
There he is. That's Dan from Madison coming in hot. Dan, I love your attitude. Unfortunately, not a lot of Jesus in that, so we tried to handle it a little bit different, but I love where your head's at, and certainly, look, I may not have said it, but definitely was thinking in the same vein. I think this morning it'll be pretty clear that we belong here based on the setup that we will have on the beach this morning. It's going to be very socially distant and very spread out, and so we will mark our territory and pee on the proverbial beach tree, if you will, this morning, and let people know that we absolutely belong. That being said, I don't know how much I want to belong here. A little bit. It's a nice place to visit, but not a place I'd like to, claim residence or that I fit in here, because dang sure don't fit in around here. Let me tell you, us good old country boys from the heart of Dixie are proud. Oh wait, you can't say that anymore. What do you say? You can't say the heart of Dixie. So what? How do we say that without being racist?
I'm really surprised we're still on the air.
Yeah, well, we should be canceled,
honestly. But
Yeah,
I don't know what you would say, and you just have to say I don't know.
From the southern region of the United States. Is that better? From the heart of the southern region of the United States of America. Listen, if you want to give us a call this morning, 1-866-494-WVNN. I am live from Seaside, Florida. If you are not watching the stream, you need to be, because you can just have a bit of the beach in your morning. I'm sitting on the balcony here in my rental home community. We got a big house here in one of the gated subdivisions here on the beach. We're Gulf side here. I'm about 50 yards from the Gulf of Mexico. That's a lot. 50 yards from the boardwalk thing that goes down another 100 yards. So if you add 150, we're 150 yards from the Gulf of Mexico, and it's right here. If you're looking right here over my right shoulder, is the Gulf of Mexico. It's beautiful down here. The weather has been, spotty at times. We've had some red flags out there. The other day we had a big storm roll through, and let me tell you something. The sea was angry. I posted a picture on Hometown Heartbeats Facebook and Instagram, or at Your Bearded Host on Instagram, and at Your Bearded Host on Twitter too. If you want to follow me on Twitter, that could be fun as I learn how to use the old Tweetergram. It's this whole newfangled social media stuff has got me emo for 4 and made me get a Twitter, and so that could be very, very interesting to see that. I mean, because you got 160 characters to say what you need to say.
It's
When have I
280
ever?
now.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they extended it like 2 years ago.
Well, see, 2 years ago. That's how out of the loop I am on that. But with 280 characters, when have I ever been able to express a complete thought in a concise and clear way? So that could be very interesting to see how that goes down. So with 5 minutes left, Connor, we'll shoot, ready, aim one more time. If you've got something prepared, go ahead and bring it in, and let's land the plane on something really, really good.
All right, let's end on kind of a silly note here. Kanye West has said that if elected president, he would rule America like Wakanda, and that.
I'm sorry. Bring back the vibranium there, Black Panther. What'd you say?
He said that if elected, he would rule America like Wakanda, and that Black Panther is a big inspiration for him as he pursues the presidency.
I love Kanye.
You can't make this stuff up. This is like
Unfortunately for Kanye, what Kanye doesn't understand is he can only make it on the ballots of 6 states at this point. And so claiming a run for president, I think what he's trying to do, he's not going to say it out loud, but I think what he's trying to do is pull some of the vote from Biden in an attempt to help Trump. I really do. I believe that. Now, whether that works or doesn't, I'm unsure. But he's also made some very weird claims. Like, for instance, he is not running as a Republican or a Democrat, but rather under a new party, which he calls the birthday party. Quote, because when we win, it's everybody's birthday. This guy is an idiot. His choice for vice president, Michelle Tidball, a preacher from Wyoming. Okay, Kanye. Black Panther is his. Wow. Man,
Not feeling it. You're not gonna go. You won't go Kanye 2020.
No, we will not be endorsing Kanye on Hometown Heartbeat. That will not. Oh, I guess we could come out and support Kanye, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Wakanda did. I mean, Wakanda was a very wealthy nation. They had lots of really cool stuff. And, I mean, if he knows where the vibranium is, like, I'm down with that. If he's, if maybe that's something he could bring to the table. I don't know. He did say that he was special, that Obama was special, that Biden was not special, and that's why he would be a good president, because he's special.
He's different.
Yep, Kanye, you are definitely special. There is no doubt about the bus on which you ride, my friend. Here's another great quote. His thoughts on taxation. Again, going back to Wakanda, I'm like, well, my son is my son's 4 right now, and so he's big on superhero movies. And I've watched Black Panther 1 mazillion. That's M with an M. That's more than buh. So mazillion times. It's a number I made up that means way more than you ever should in your entire life. And I've not yet once seen any evidence of the taxation policies of Wakanda on the movie. So where he understands how he must be special if he understands Wakanda's taxation structure. This guy's a freaking circus clown. Are you kidding me? Like, what? I don't understand. I don't understand this. There's a TMZ article out, which, of course, you take that with a grain of salt, right? But it says that Kanye is in the middle of one of his bipolar episodes. He's obviously a bipolar person. He's been diagnosed clinically, I believe, and so his family's quite worried about him. Kanye, I'm worried about you too. You're checking in with us here on Hometown Heartbeat. I am live from sunny Seaside, Florida here. If you haven't caught the stream, you go to thehometownheartbeat.com, thehometownheartbeat.com, and check that out. Make sure you listen to the podcast, subscribe, like, rate, give us 5 stars or 1 star, but just go and subscribe. And I mean, if you're being honest with yourself, it's a 5-star show. You and I both know it. This has been your Thursday edition of Hometown Heartbeat. I am your big, beautiful, bearded host, Zach Walker, checking in with producer Connor and Dallas. Again, thehometownheartbeat.com, thehometownheartbeat.com. We will be back tomorrow morning live from sunny Seaside, Florida. Looking forward to bringing home a Friday edition with you. We'll talk to you soon.
#1 news, talk, and weather station. WVNN Athens. WVNN FM Trinity.